Top 10 Porsche cars of all time. Number 10. Porsche 356. The Porsche 356 is a legend. It was the model that introduced this German automaker to world, and despite not having enough power for what we would call sports car worthy in today's standards, it still managed to be something amazing back then. The newer generations such as C models had beefier engines which brought these classics alive with life again. The 356 helped Porsche make a name for itself as an industry leader in high-performance cars. It was reliable, light and stiff with impressive racing history that included winning at Le Mans twice. Number 9. Porsche 917. If there is one thing that Porsche has always done well, it's developing cars to be faster and more agile than their competition. This quest for speed began in 1969 with the introduction of what many consider to be possibly even coolest-looking car designs, the 917 Longtail. Eventually becoming so successful at races like Le Mans or Pistonership Valley competitions, where they took home victory after year due largely thanks its incredible capabilities both on track but also off-road performance through use cases such as off-list driving modes which were previously unheard. Number 8. Porsche 911 2.7 Carrera RS. For Porsche, designing a car that could win against any other competitor in its class was essential. And so they set out to create something better than ever before. The 911 2.7 Carrera RS regulations had changed, and there were no longer limitations on how fast drivers could go. This made winning races all too easy for them. The driving experience with these vehicles always feels different from one another, but also better, because you're able to put your skill set behind evaluation instead just getting stuck inside an engine bay or trying not scratch the most expensive part off any model. The 911 2.7 Carrera RS was the road-going version of what would become one of Porsche's most notorious race cars, and thanks to this iconic sports car we see today how Gt2 Rs were born. Number 7. Porsche 944 Turbo. In the mid-80s, Porsche released their new 944 Turbo. This performance car was unlike any other before it because of its wedge design and pop-up headlamps with telephone dial wheels to make them look even cooler. The engine underhood also produced 250 bhp, which gave this little monster plenty of power when needed most 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds no problem. The input states that underneath these flashy features lay a 4-cylinder motor, but there isn't much information available on what kind or how many cylinders are inside, such as size, etc. Number 6. Porsche 901. The first Porsche 911 was the result of an interruption by another automaker that triggered a trademark issue. The number 0 in front of course is not silent, so this particular model became known as 911s to date because it stuck with just one character from its original title. 901 units were made before production got stopped temporarily due for reasons unrelated, but still fascinating nonetheless. Trademark issues between Peugeot France and Porsche caused both companies' assets, namely cars, be seized during World War II. After peace returned, however, they came back stronger than ever. Number 5. Porsche 550 Spider. The Porsche 550 Spider is a legendary car within the automotive circles. Drivers insinuate that it was rebodied because, despite carrying many design features of its predecessor, the 356, which can be seen as early 911s, this model also had an open roof and sporty demeanor unlike any other at time, making them want more. In addition to being tiny with powerful engine underhood, its mid-engine position making driving experience quite different than before, where everything seemed cramped up front or backseat area respectively. And lastly, today's version comes equipped standard when ordering. Number 4. Porsche Cayman GTS 981. The Cayman GTS is the best of all Porsche models, according to Car and Driver. It has better power than other cars in its class, while still being incredibly responsive on road or off it depending how you want to handle this sports car. The 981 model offers an exciting driving experience with amazing handling capabilities which make them perfect for people who love speed but don't mind taking their time when steering through turns at high speeds. The Cayman GTS is a beautifully designed sports car that has been given everything from Porsche's active suspension management in the basic trim, all of which makes for an engaging driving experience. As if this weren't enough already, though, they have added even more features such as their soulful naturally aspirated flat-6 engine producing 340 horsepower. Number 3. Porsche 911 Sport Classic 997. This Porsche is special because it was manufactured by the world-renowned golden standard of excellence in engineering and design Porsche for a very unique event. It launched alongside their latest creation, a Speedster Model 911 Sports Classic, which combines all that you love about classic sports cars with modern technology to make driving more enjoyable than ever before. The ducktail spoiler brings back memories of the Carrera RS 2.7, with its rest of rear bodywork embodying design language force. The engine was also lifted from this model, but now produces 408 horsepower instead 365 horsepower previously offered by way earlier version on top-level sportscars like racetrack-oriented roadster or touring cars that demanded both performance and handling skills during turns at high speeds. The famous duckbill could be seen, largely because it had been applied to many other vehicles around town, including some low-profile tires which made them look more aggressive than ever before. Number 2. Porsche 911 Gt2 Rs. The 2019 Porsche Gt2 Rs is the most hardcore 911 ever produced. It set lap records at Nürburgring and Road America, which are considered some of hardest tracks in Europe or North America for performance cars to race on. The Gt2 RS is the most powerful 911 yet, with a 3.8L flat 6 that produces 700 horsepower and 553 pounds-foot torque. The car went on to crush 755 horsepower Corvette ZR1 in car and driver's lightning lap test by perfecting its formula, light chassis plus strong engine equals ultimate performance. Number 1. Porsche 918 Spider. The 918 Spider was a glimpse into the future of motorsports and car culture when it came out in 2013. With hybrid technology, Porsche took what people didn't like about their competitors, the Prius, while adding more power than ever before, 887 horsepower. Yet this wasn't just any old supercar. Its handling prowess made you think twice before challenging another driver on track or street course. Even with all those extra pounds your typical hypercar carries weight-wise compared to other vehicles from this class such as the McLaren P1 and the Ferrari LaFerrari. The 918 shows just how much power a traditional sports car can have. It outpaced its competitors on the racetrack 2 years before they were even released, and this was with an all-wheel drive model. Thank you for watching, please subscribe.